Hi everyone, we are a team from ESSEC Business School's negotiation class, and today we want to explore how dining can play a role in making successful deals. Our presentation consists of four main parts: the influence of food and drinks on decision making, the bonds between food sharing, food and drink selection, and how to utilize feast as negotiation tools. Now let's start. Firstly, do you think the food or drink can influence people's decision? The answer is yes. A study from Babson College in the States in 2013, which selected 132 MBA students as participants, found that people tend to generate higher value deals in the negotiation table when being offered the food. Also, research for more than 1,000 pro board decisions illustrated that the probability of a pro request being granted declines steadily, but only recover after the board's meal break. These evidences strongly prove that food can really influence people's decisions. If so, how do food and drinks influence our decision makings? And what are the mechanisms behind? Here, I'd like to analyze the influencing factors of food and drinks on negotiation effectiveness, including what, where, when, and how to eat, which brings psychological, biological, and social influences. In the negotiation table, what to eat influences what we want to express. For example, businessmen usually drink alcohols during the deal. That's because alcohol is found to lower inhibitions and encourage a sense of camaraderie, which would be helpful for changing ideas and reaching the deal harmoniously. And this mechanism is called mood regulation. Poland's study in 2016 said that pleasure elites like to use feasting as a strategy for maintaining social and political power because they consider it as an effective reciprocity tool. Besides, some ingredients in food, such as EGCG in green tea, is proved to reduce people's risky decision-making. Where to eat influences our mood or feelings in discussion. Researchers showed that large tables encourages more accidental meetings than small tables. Round tables and circular seating arrangements can encourage a sense of belonging or uniqueness to make people be more collaborative during the negotiation or business discussion. So choose a nice eating place with gastronomy and smart design for your clients would be a strong plus. Time also matters. Breakfast is shown with positive effect on body function and can increase people's brain excitability, the response speed, and attention. And the way to eat also can influence people's acceptance for new ideas, especially the food sharing, which can bring positive mood regulation and powerful social bonding. And welcome my team member to further talk about this part.
Now we have learned something about how food and drinks influence our decision-making process. Let me ask you a question. Do we bond with those whom we happen to share a meal or drink together? The answer is sure. Eating and drinking hold a special role in terms of fostering social relationships precisely because they involve bringing outside substances into the body. Researchers consistently show that sharing a meal or a drink can significantly enhance social bonding and trust. For instance, studies by Kiffin and Wensink demonstrate that individuals who dine together tend to develop stronger interpersonal connections. These shared experiences stimulate the release of oxytocin, often referred as the bonding hormone, which promotes feelings of trust and cooperation. Another national survey carried by the Big Lunch in 2017 revealed that nearly 80% of respondents recognized that making an effort to see someone more often was best done by carrying a meal. As this research also shows, sharing a food can help strengthen community bonds. Throughout history, shared meals and drink have played a pivotal role in building relationships and sealing agreements. In ancient times, merchants along the Silk Road and other trade routes would often share meals and drinks with their trading partners. These shared experiences not only eased negotiations but also served as a symbol of trust. The act of breaking bread together signified a commitment to a mutually beneficial exchange. So, if food can be used as a tool of negotiation, why and how? The renowned French diplomat Talleyrand once said, "One of the most important weapons in diplomacy is the art of cooking fine food. Dynasties rise and fall, but good food endures." In summary, sharing a meal together between the negotiating parties can enhance conversation, bring them closer, and alleviate the serious or even tense atmosphere often found in the negotiation proceedings. First, you can use the food and drinks to show your position and deliver a subtle message. From the dining behaviors, the dress code and food selection, and so on, negotiators are sending a subtle message to others and making a good impression. It's a great way to build a brand for yourself and the ones you represent. From another aspect, winning hearts and minds through stomachs. For instance, the United States President Richard Nixon's dinner with Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai in 1972, where the United States President notably used chopsticks, a skill extremely uncommon among Westerners at that time, held as much importance in shaping the relations between the United States and China as the more widely recognized ping-pong diplomacy. Second, you can use the food and drinks to build a trust. Sharing a meal creates a relaxed environment where personal connections can flourish. It allows negotiators to step away from intense negotiation table and engage in more genuine conversations. The trust-building process lays the groundwork for productive discussions and lasting partnerships. In cross-cultural negotiations, sharing food can serve as a bridge between different worlds. It demonstrates respect for cultural norms and can lead to a deeper understanding of each party's perspective. This, in turn, facilitates smoother negotiations. The former First Lady of America, Hillary Clinton, replaced the usual French food and chefs with contemporary American fare prepared by an American chef of White House. She said, "The meals that I share with my counterparts at the White House and abroad cultivate a stronger cultural understanding between countries and offer a unique setting to enhance the formal diplomacy we conduct every day." What's more, breaking bread together can also encourage open and honest communication. When individuals share a meal or a drink, they are more likely to discuss not only business matters, but also personal experiences and values. These conversations can reveal common interests and values that can strengthen the negotiation process.
Thanks, patient. After all of you have known the provision and food and drinks can be used to enhance negotiation outcomes, then it comes to the object that what kind of food and drinks we should and should not eat and drink. It is about the food and drink selection part. Then let's come into this topic specifically. First, what kind of food we should eat. The first principle is that we need to eat the same food as those whom you are trying to impress. Because people who are served the same food are more likely to trust one another, and we can solve problems very smoothly and very easy to make deals. Because compare with those who evaluate different candidates to begin with. Those who ate the same food always ended up cooperating more and who earn more money than those, which can also contribute a greater successful deal than others. Then What's the next principle that we should eat? We need to eat something with a distinctively sweet smell, which is very easy for people to understand. Because when we eat something sweet, we tend to feel more romantic and relaxed. Well, under the relaxed statement, we are more likely to make deals and cooperate more. Because the something sweet tends to make people feel more romantic. Besides, when we sending the invitation, people are more likely to agree on a go on date when they say that they can have something sweet to eat. And the third reason is that because the something sweet always promotes the positive feelings among those who dine together. For these kinds of food, there are two examples. First, the meals involve strawberries, and then the ice cream, which are children's favorite. And then for the third and fourth principle of the kinds of food we should eat, that food that optimizing the aromatic element will be people's the first priority, because this element always have a beneficial effect on the relaxation and the blood pressure. And for the second is that the cheese and eggs and pineapple, who are tryptophan-rich foods, they are more likely to tend to be more less quarrelsome and agree more. There will be less disagreement in the negotiation process. And for another about drinks that we should eat during the negotiation is alcohol. Because alcohol always leads to some certain universal behavior and psychological effects. For example, the sensomotor impairments. And then people will have an increase in sociability and talkativeness. People will have more talk when drinking alcohol rather than they have not drinking anything. They'll be more likely to socialize with others, which are very important to keep in relationship with others in the negotiation part. Besides, we should eat something food that from the opposite party's culture. Because when we eat together, we're not always about work. It's about getting to know each other's culture and reducing barriers. When barriers in the negotiation are reduced, people are more likely to cooperate and make more deals. That's about eating together, also learning about each other's food and each other's culture. People can more sympathize with others. And then let's come to the next part. What kinds of food we should not eat? The first thing is that the food that's sitting heavily on the people's stomach. Here's an example that in the Italian futurist proclaimed that pasta should be banned due to the reasons. Due to what reasons? Because pasta will have a bad influence on people's capacity to reason productively and think creatively. That means people always going to not very smart during the negotiation process when they eat the pasta. And then people are more likely to eat something bitter, such as the beer and the dark chocolate, because people will show more hostility toward others during the negotiation process. Also, they will have much more disagreements than they didn't have. And for what kind of food we should not eat, here's also two. The first, it is not wise only to share a drink rather than sharing a meal, because when it comes to the tools, drinks require only mouth-touching utensils, which are very easily to shared. You cannot increase the relationship during this process. However, a hot meal always requires at least one mouth-entering utensil, which suggests a higher level of intimacy. Also, food set against the other party's religion and ethics are be banned that we should not eat during the negotiation process. Because food and drinks, they are not just something we eat or something we drink. They also fulfill some important social functions in building and delineating groups, implicate that what are ethically or religiously acceptable in basic idea of disgust and pleasure. If you eat something that in my religion it is banned, I will think that you didn't show any respect to my party and to myself, which definitely won't make a deal eventually.
Let's talk about how being aware of the cultural preferences in crucial negotiations. Adapting your menu to match your negotiation partner's cultural taste shows respect and kindness. These simple gestures setting the friendly towards negotiation. Lord Guinness's cultural difference meant maybe serving dishes that your guests don't like. This can make negotiations harder. Creating a warm and relaxed setting important too. It helps everyone talk the opening and trust each other. But if they choose the wrong place or atmosphere, it can make things taste uncomfortable, which is good for negotiation. Finding the right balance between being relaxed and professional is key. It's important to polite professional while still focusing on the negotiation goals. Being too casual or overindulgent can be distracting and unprofessional, which could hurt negotiation. By thinking about the same things, we can make a backward force choose the negotiation and have a better chance to get what we want. Let's look at why formal and private dinner so important at the young couples. This dinner crucials from study later to talk. A bigger formal dinner, rooms that fancy, and table one for the one amazing food. Each seat had beautiful dishes and shining glasses. It's very important and exciting. Starting one of Charlie's special dishes from Sunday evening. Roasting suggested trying food from the local area. Georgia brought the front dishes that showing our country's food culture. Even though I talk about serious things, the friendly atmosphere make it easier. Private dinner are also really important. Rosa shared story about food invention, originated from conversation. Story introduced children to Russian food, and children shared the British history, which were closely in relaxed setting. This private dinner helps them to understand each other better, setting the stage for a successful meeting. This dinner shows how sharing means the positive feeling, cooperation, and a good relationship. This is important business negotiation too. When understanding and respect each other's culture can start a conversation of right. In the end, the young conference work not only become the form discussion, but also because of the friendly meal. They help the later become the offer in noise of their we set the stage, rebuilding each drop after all. Now, let's talk about how having meal together influence business discussion. As an experiment, student negotiation team make more profit when they are together. This suggests the important decision over meal that lead to successful talks. Eating together might affect our brains. It can make more focus and in control. Also, when people eat together, we naturally copy each other, which leads to positive feeling. In short, sharing a meal is more just food and builds trust and make good environment for fruitful discussion. So, next time you can sometimes important to talk about. Think about doing over meal. Thank you.
Today, I want to share with you some valuable insight about negotiating, whether it's in a cooperative or competitive setting, and how certain factors can affect the outcomes. Let's get straight to the point. First, share food during negotiation may seem like a friendly gesture, but it's not always the best idea. Research has shown that when we share food, especially in cooperative negotiation, it makes us feel too comfortable and even sleepy. So before you break out the snack, consider the purpose of the negotiation. Now, let's talk about alcohol. Some people may think a drink one or two can help relax and it's benefit to the conversation, but it's risky um, movement. Studies suggest that alcohol can lead up to more mistakes, aggressive behavior, and less efficient agreement. It might, it may make you feel more persuasive, but it often leads to unfavorable outcomes. So it's best to stay sober during a negotiation. Lastly, combine business with dining can be tricky, where it's tempting to discuss work matters over a meal. Excessive focus on business can make your counterparts uncomfortable and cautious. Use this opportunity to build a personal relationship and trust instead. Now, let's dive into an interesting experiment that shed light on the impact of alcohol in negotiations. Research conducted two studies where they paired participate into negotiating pairs. The first study involved sober pairs and inebriated pairs with a moderate amount of alcohols involved. Surprisingly, sober pairs reach better agreement. In the second studies, they paired sober and inebriated participants, neither of whom knew whether they had consumed alcohol. The inebriated negotiator tend to use aggressive tactics, make more mistakes, and unexpectedly ask more questions. So in conclusion, when it comes to negotiation, we need to be cautious about sharing food, avoid alcohol, and don't let business take over during dining. And remember, alcohol can be a double-edged sword in negotiations, so it's best to approach it with care. Yeah, thank you for your attention.